live and direct from Viva Las Vegas, because it is Las Vegas, and I'm living in Henderson, Nevada, where I am a ripe old age of 66. And as I have made to the age of 66, I believe that, I've learned a few things on the way. Number one, failure is not an option of what is considered mandatory. And special education addresses the needs, not necessarily the desires. But failure is not an option. And when you understand that your child has the right to benefit, just as any other gifted and talented child, well, then you understand that you have to fight for everything. And it's everything. It just ain't going to be all right. I mean, in America, the deal is make sure, because last time I had a little crumb on my mouth and I didn't never see it until it was over. And so I want to make sure I'm not looking like something's going on. But I'm living here in Nevada, and I raised my children in the state of California. As living in the state of California, I truly learned advocacy and what advocacy is about. I do support families who reach out for additional support, and I am providing support for a family, Mrs. Ware and her children, and her last two, actually, Marshawn and Mila. And, the whole thing is that they are attending an educational agency in Sacramento, California, and they're doing very well. Except for when you don't understand that you have a right not to fail, or you have a right to have support. And that's what IDEA is all about. Special education is not, it's just, and even if it's a yellow bus, boo, guess what? My child was on the yellow bus until almost graduation day, and that's just real. It was to school, and I picked him up from school, and I also brought lunch. So the issue was that, it was difficult getting myself ready and him ready out the door at the same time, because he needed that extra support. He's pretty much functional now. He can survive, and he has a cell phone, and he can survive. And I would never put him alone, because, being alone is not the place you want to be in 2025. If you have family, that's exactly where you should strive to be, with your family. I don't understand. I mean, in the public school system always encourages kids, well, you don't want to be living at home with your mom, do you? Like, that's a negative thing, boo. We are family. That we are family. Yeah, 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 yeah. And it's real. As long as I have my family, I'm good. And we learn to survive that way, too. Well, hello. How are you? Gabriel Jones and Kawazi Kiddos. Kiddos? Yeah, kiddos, whatever. But anyways, hello, hello, hello. We're just out here understanding that this is 2025, and so many of our people just aren't making it. I'm blessed. Blessed and highly favored. Well, pretty soon we probably won't be able to eat chicken, but I saw today on how to make some vegetarian ribs, and they look delicious, so I posted it on my page. And my son is vegan. Family and health better than money? Well, money really doesn't make any difference, because guess what? You can have a great time with people that you love if you plan it. And socialization skills and really the deal that you're dealing one-on-one with your children is amazing. I'm living with my kids, and you're in Germany, military, most likely. I mean, because what's happening at home is really still what's happening at home. And, it's crazy what's going on in America right now. And I heard on the internet, well, some of the food banks are running out of food and stuff like that. And then my girlfriend called me and told me that in Sacramento, too, her food bank was short on food. But, she was going to she said that, people always help out other people. And this man, the senior citizen, he was helping somebody. And when he went to go get the food, the woman clowned him and tried to embarrass him. And then, the whole thing is that why would he show up to get the resources if he truly didn't need them? And why would you try to control them just because you're volunteering? It's not for you to determine who is entitled to the benefit truly. It is just for you to understand. Oh, somebody said something. right? But I want to tell you, oh, well, I'm going to tell you this. Anybody who's not here who don't want to be here, don't make yourself look like an ass trying to say something about choice that I made. And that's just real. And so whatever you do, understand you're standing on your own word. Yeah, I am a grandma. Thank God I have one grandchild. I have three sons. My oldest is 41. My youngest is going to be 28 in April. And then I have a 38-year-old, soon to be 39. And guess what? I'm making it. I get money every month. So, whoever wanted to say something who didn't want to hear me, I don't even know why they're out here. That's a sheer ignorance. And people could look at you and just understand that perhaps anything you say just might have to be that way. I can't help you not look like what you want to look like. In life truly, you just are who you are. And no one can stop you from being who you'd like to be. So if you want to look ignorant, help yourself. That's right. Everybody has a choice. That's the one thing. People say, oh, well, why didn't God stop that? Or why? Because somebody had a choice to be in that. And everybody has a choice. And if you're not afraid of the consequences, I say go dig them on. Go for it. Whatever. Happy day. Because, that's your day, not mine. But I'm here to talk about America and where we're going, because a lot of people just don't understand. So many people lack the skills to be sustain their own lives. You go to school, public education is mandatory for all those years. And then when you got out, you didn't even get a high school diploma. How unthinkable that you didn't get a high school diploma. Because guess what? You really can't get no job without the high school diploma. And, and you can go back and get it, truly. They have online programs, and you really should get in an online program where you can get someone to help you support. And perhaps one of these apps can help you comprehend the language assessment that you probably really need to comprehend. And I'm going to tell you, these apps are out here, but guess what? I don't care if no one watches or whatever, because it's the universe and people who need to understand that they are in charge of their life and understand that they are the ones that are responsible for making the choices that are going to benefit them, because nobody can help you except for you can help yourself. Well, a lot of people wouldn't follow me because have they been successful in raising children? No. Have they been successful in owning a home? Perhaps not. I have a car, and then I had to buy another car because I got screwed. Interest rates for you may be low because you didn't earn what black people earn. Black people get the highest interest rate that they can be. And so for the next 5 years, I'm going to be paying a car note. But guess what? When I'm done, I'm going to be done, and that's just real. And I'm going to have a car with the warranty on it for all that time. And that's what life's about. Paying the ticket so you can survive, and that's just real. Yeah, somebody's saying something to me. I'm just going to have to answer her later. But I'm just saying, hey, what is life really all about? And whose obligation is it to ensure adequacy happen for the youngest and neediest? Why would we be paying these taxes that don't make sense? Because everybody pays. As soon as you get a job, boo, you're going to pay some tax money. You're just going to have to pay. And you don't have a choice. But if you don't participate in the development of the policies locally, and they're not providing services to you or the people who look like you, guess what, boo? Too bad. Because it is just what it is. It's going to be 100 and probably 20 something out here in Nevada. It's either it is or it's not. And I promise you, everything is awesome until it's not. And then when it's not, then you need to learn to move on. Why try to stay behind and make things work that are not working? That's just real. So yeah, it's pretty much black and white. Because if you had a choice, it's your choice to do whatever you choose to do. The real deal is that if you keep on running into hurdles, you need to look around, because perhaps that's not for you. And that's just real. We all have a responsibility to pay attention to this one body that we have. We have one body. And Either you're healthy or you're not, but if you're not, then you need to pay attention to what causes the pain. And then if you're not paying attention, but understand that just because they developed this new medicine doesn't mean it's supposed to help you. And sometimes those new medicines really just don't work for everybody. And you have to know what's working for you. And that's just real. And I'll say God is good every day. And no, I ain't never met God, but I promise you, He speaks to me because I understand what I'm supposed to do. And I was able to survive raising 3 children as a single parent and not become obese, because I'm not obese. And I'll show you. And I like to dance on my website, on my page. Hey, and I'm just a mom of 3. And I have a good time every day with my children. And then I understand that my children are trying to take care. I have one that has 1 child, and he has to take care of that 1 child, and that's just real. So life just goes on. And we're getting older, and age is more than a number. It means you have to take care of your body. You have to walk, you have to exercise, you have to drink water. You really have to drink water, and water's just not so good anymore. But we have to struggle to get it down in our, whatever. But then understand, people are making decisions all around you, and they are going to affect you, and that's just real. So the tariffs got implemented, and already avocados in Costco went from $4 and something to $10 and something. So that's it. Avocados are good for your body, so why wouldn't they go? Higher price. And then everything's going up. The eggs went up, of course. And this is just the beginning. Y'all don't really understand. But let's just understand what Obama did when he was in the White House. Because he wrote this thing, Every Child Succeed Act. And what is the Every Child Succeed Act? Well, it said that if you didn't graduate from high school, then every state would have to offer 2 years of vocational training, a roof over your head, and perhaps some food stamps, and some change in your pocket. And then so many states didn't do anything because they were stealing in the first place. It's called surplanting. Most people don't even understand what surplanting is, but it's the opposite of supplementing. So to supplant is that the state chose to do and going down in a direction that perhaps they wouldn't have went, but they were hoping that they could catch you up, and somehow y'all never caught up. That's why there is an 88% population of Negro children in the juvenile facility here in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. They're just, and then we have people that are in power, you know what I'm saying? In power. And then we have, we have all these people who know who they are and who represent. But then there's never been a pathway for you to come and represent your community. And really, truly, states should be forced to present the information as to how far have we come since 1964, since the Civil Rights Act. Perhaps, it happened. But understand that there's all this money set aside, just like in the Medicare. And then if you choose not to get the work done, well, whose fault is it? Apparently, you need to understand it's a personal kind of thing. And if you didn't graduate from high school, well, what do you expect? I'm just trying to understand. What do you think that you're going to be eating? Because, see, things are changing. Perhaps people won't be getting the food stamps. And I don't know. It's going to cause more chaos. But guess what? The rules have been implemented. So if you're doing something illegal, boo, oh no, you're just going to have to pay the price. You are going to go down. And for all of these young women who want to put their hands on each other because they want to fight over a man, I'd say, how disgusting. But if you ain't got no man, then probably you don't need no man. But you ain't going to beat no man to be into submission. That's just not going to happen. And it's kind of like, just like a man can't beat a woman into submission. Who would want to be with somebody who would harm them in the first place? I know I left my husband because, I remember that foot coming to my face. And guess what? I'm never going to have to deal with it again because God took care of him. He is no longer among us. Actually, I had 2 baby daddies already down. And I didn't have anything to do with that. That's just real. How unfortunate. They made their own choices, but life is about choices in the first place. And then there are people that would steal from your children, people that claim that they're related to you. And they really are a blood relation, but somehow they didn't look out for your best interest. And I'm saying, you see, I'm promising you, God's going to take care of them too. I don't even have to worry about that. People who don't do what they should be doing in life, well, it's an accountability thing, and it's going to happen. And just understand that America's going through a change, trials and tribulations. And just understand all these people with all that money down there in California that had already made it. They were living their best life, but had no protection from the fires. And the fires just stormed through all that area. They were not that secluded that they couldn't have done the work to keep a fire, barrier around their property. Everything requires that we pay attention to where we are living here in 2025, because it is real. So I have a podcast. It's Parent Empowerment Half an Hour. They keep on saying that nobody's coming to visit my website or whatever. But overall, there are 16,000 views. Come on now. They happen sometime over time. The 16,000 views actually happen. But they're not paying me for that. I'm not getting a penny. They just understand they're collecting my information, and I just store it on their website. Why would I store it on my devices? It's filling up my drives in the first place. Yeah, eventually I'm going to go get a backup drive and then transfer all my stuff and put it on the backup drive and format the hard drive again and start all over. Starting all over again. It's going to be rough. I think so. But, as long as everything is a cloud, everything in the cloud, including every document you ever printed. And guess what? No matter where you go, you have to have a driver's license to print a document. You have to have some form of identification. Did you not know that? Don't ever think that the days of the typewriter were not universal, because they were untraceable. Yep, and that's just real. So we all have to understand it's just we the people. And I'm building capacity out here. And my show is Citizen Anderson over there on Podbean. Don't be afraid of the applications. All applications collect some form of data. But you have to figure out what you're going to do in 2025. How are you going to become, a change agent? Because we are going to be forced to deal with the changes of access for everyone. And then, of course, on YouTube, Darlene Anderson 1958. I've got lots of shows here. You just go in my history and listen and learn. Listen and learn. And then, of course, Parent Empowerment Half an Hour over there on Spotify. And just encourage you to teach yourself, because I can't teach you anything. All I can do is share my experiences with you. But until we meet again, boo, this is Citizen Anderson saying, peace out. Y'all have a blessed day, and thank you, and have a blessed day. Boom, boom, boom.